for our final slide of the night, I want to talk a little bit about the results of the last midterm election, the 2014 midterm election. As a quick review, let's remember that the President of the United States didn't run for election, so obviously the White House has stayed Democrat. House of Representatives was run by the Republican Party. Speaker of the House, John Boehner, maintained his position as Speaker, and moreover, the Republicans picked up more seats in the House. The most stunning effect of the last election was the Democrats losing the Senate, and now the Republicans have taken control of the House and the Senate. Now, we've actually seen something happen in this very similarly in 2006. In 2006, the President of the United States was Republican, and the Republicans had control of the House and the Senate, and they lost control of both houses. The Democrats were able to take charge for the remaining 2 years of George W. Bush's presidency. Now, what became interesting there was what would happen in 2008 when the president had to run for president again. It would be a new Republican and a new Democrat running for an open seat, namely John McCain versus Barack Obama. A lot of people looked at Congress and went, okay, how good of a job did Congress do in 2007 and 2008 as kind of a reflection of what they wanted for the President of the United States. Now, what's different in this circumstance, and knock on wood that it stays different, is that there was a major economic collapse just before the 2008 election. So it was hard to determine whether or not the election of the president would be a referendum on the performance of House and Senate Democrats. In this upcoming election cycle in 2016, we see a very similar effect. The Republicans have control of both houses of the legislature. Will they be able to produce a positive track record as legislators over the next 2 years as a way of building momentum towards putting a Republican in the White House? That should be the goal of Republican senators and Republican congressmen. Having said that, voters have routinely been dissatisfied with Congress. There's a famous article, if everybody loves their congressman, why does everybody hate Congress? Well, Congress's approval ratings are at an all-time low. In the past 100 years since Gallup has been taking results, approval ratings are lower than they've ever been before. So can Republicans change that perception? Now, one of the big problems that they have is dealing with extremists in their party. Democrats have the same problem as well, but right now we're talking about the Republican Party. The Republican Party has its share of moderates, it has its share of conservatives, and it has its share of extremists. Will extremists push the Republican Party too far to the right and prevent them from being able to accomplish a legislative agenda because they're unable to compromise with moderate Democrats and drag some moderate Democrats along to get positive votes? That's going to be a problem that they have to deal with, and that problem can be best exemplified in a video here that I'd like you to pause me right now and watch this video between Peter King, who again is coming to speak to us, and Senator Cruz from Texas. So pause me, watch that video, and come back. So I'm going to presume you've done that, and as you've seen in the video, there was a lot of contention between these two Republicans. So a lot of times when we sit down to figure out, okay, why is the government not getting everything right? The Republicans have a majority, why can't they do what they want to do? It presumes a theory of collective action, which simply is not true. Because I am a Republican does not mean all Republicans vote the same way. Because I am a Democrat doesn't mean all Democrats vote the same way. They still have constituents to answer toward. So a legislative agenda may have a lot to do with the party platform, but it has as much to do with the party platform as it does to the congressmen and the senators answering to the people who vote for them. So right now, the Republicans have to ask themselves, do they have enough political capital to trade to move their agenda forward and fight the extremists in their party? What is political capital? Well, right now there is a strong anti-Obama feeling in the country. President Obama's approval ratings are very low in the wake of problems with ISIS, in the wake of problems with Ebola, in the wake with problems with the Obamacare legislation. All these things have produced kind of a bad taste in voters' mouth about Democrats, and a more positive feeling about Republicans. Can Republicans turn that into momentum? Can they do it to push legislation that they sincerely believe in? One of the things that Peter King just voted up was a Keystone Pipeline. Well, that's going to be something that Republicans have wanted for a long time. Can they push it through the Senate and get the president to vote for it? Would Barack Obama be served by now supporting Republican politics so that he can end his presidency with some accomplishments that maybe wasn't his most favorite thing to do, but actually does accomplish some tasks? There's another side of this. The president could veto everything the Republicans do. The Republicans could bring legislation that they know Obama will not vote for, and they could gridlock the government. The biggest concern right now will be the up-and-coming budget season when the next budget for the year 2015 comes up. Will Republicans and Democrats be able to work together to not bankrupt the government? Every single year, the President of the United States, the House and the Senate have to agree on a budget. And we've talked about this in the past before. If that budget is not approved, effectively, the federal government has no money to spend. With a divided government, House and Senate controlled by the Republicans, President being controlled by the Democrats, well, with a divided government means that the possibilities for government shutdown to occur have increased. So it's going to be a fun interview with Peter King on Friday. I hope that the flipped classrooms have helped you. The notes for this flipped classroom are due on Friday, so I hope you get them done, and I hope they help you prepare good questions to ask our congressman. Thanks for tuning in tonight.